Someone recently requested that I do a video on refocusing on a project after a series of setbacks, and I feel like that's actually a really good topic to talk about because I think that we've all suffered setbacks, whether that be in our personal life, our work life, projects that we're working on, our hobbies, any kind of aspect of our lives can suffer from lack of motivation or loss of motivation, and it's really difficult sometimes to get back into the groove. I myself have obviously recently suffered some serious personal setbacks, and it's very easy to turn those situations into very self-destructive behavior. And it's sometimes you need a catalyst to bring you back in and help you refocus and find your mojo, get your motivation back. Sometimes these problems, these things that occur that cause us to lose focus, can actually be a positive thing. They can perhaps narrow our perspective, help us focus and see more accurately what it is that we're trying to achieve, but it can also help us see the bigger picture, and sometimes these setbacks help us realize the important things in life, and in some cases that can mean leaving a project behind. Perhaps it wasn't something that we were going to be successful in because our motivations weren't necessarily in the right place. Our reasons for starting a project were perhaps not the best. Maybe we started out with not the best intentions. The world is incredibly full of absolutely amazing, creative, talented people who are really good at what they do and never accomplish anything. And that's not because they're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's just because they didn't necessarily have the fortune to be able to push those ideas forward. That isn't to say that talented people aren't successful. Everybody who is successful is talented in one thing or another. But finding the motivation to keep pushing forward through adversity, to keep trying, to keep getting back up when we get knocked back down, that's really one of the qualities that separates the successful people from the less successful people. Looking forward and seeing what you can achieve when you really put your mind to things is a very difficult skill. We can all dream, we can all sit there thinking about what life could be like if we had everything we wanted, but more often than not, that isn't actually what we're going to get when we get there. I'm pretty confident that everybody famous, everybody with money and power looks fondly back on the times when they didn't have those things, because with everything that you gain, you lose just as much. Everybody who becomes rich and famous immediately loses their anonymity, their ability to do normal things. And the same can be said for finding our motivations in our projects. We all look at the big game developers, the big film studios, and we look at how much money they make, and all we see is a cold, hard figure. We don't think about all of the things that come along with that. We don't think about the moral responsibility that comes with having a public voice. We don't think about how everything that we say and do affects other people until we're put in a position where that becomes painfully obvious. If you take a look at PewDiePie, for example, his responsibility has taken him a long time to come to terms with, because for a long time he tried to shirk that responsibility. He wanted his cake and eat it. He wanted to be famous, he wanted all of the money, but he didn't want to face the responsibility of his actions, and it's taken a long time for him to get to a place now where he accepts that responsibility. And the same thing goes for us when we're looking for our motivations. If we've had a lot of setbacks and we are trying to get back into the fold, the first thing that we have to do is prioritize. We have to find where we left off, try and find that brain space that we were in again, but with our new wisdom that we've gained from those setbacks. Pushing ourselves forward to achieve what we want to achieve is the greatest challenge that any human being can ever face. You have to take your time and make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, but inevitably perseverance will get us where we want to be. And one of the tricks for that is to celebrate every little victory. If you finish something in your code, then that's a win, that's something to be celebrated. If you complete a render, every render is a piece of artwork that goes into your game. It's something to be celebrated every single time. All of those little wins add up to one big win, and I think it's very important to remember to celebrate the little wins. Whether that's in your game development, or in your gaming, or in your personal life, your health, your fitness, your personal relationships, it's very important that you take each thing in bite-sized chunks. Give yourself SMART goals. They're specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-oriented. That way you can say to yourself, I'm going to have completed this game by November 2025, or I'm going to have finished this chapter of my story by the end of the month. Giving yourself goals means that not only do you have focus, but it also means that when you achieve those goals, it gives you something else to celebrate and it helps you motivate yourself. I've pretty much just talked for 7 minutes off the cuff, really just expressing myself and how I feel about these things, and I really do hope that something that I've said rings in your brain and helps you find what it is you're looking for. But whatever it is that you're doing, guys, I much love and respect to all of you, and of course just make sure that everything you do is the best it can possibly be. I'll see you again real soon, guys, but until then, you take care of yourselves, guys. Bye bye.